Chris Watkin here, joined by Anthony Codling, who I consider is the seminal voice of the property industry when it comes to stats and things like that. Thanks for joining me today, Anthony. 2021 has been a market of lower stock, lots and lots of buyers. We've got the awful issues in Eastern Europe. We've got increasing inflation, consumer confidence at an all-time low. Where do you see the property market going in 2022-23?
Sure. At worst, flat. Right? I think we're going to see just over a million housing transactions because, as we've seen from the stamp duty holiday, a lot of up and down, jagged edges, and then back to where we were before. Right? The market continues. People need to move. In terms of inflation and cost of living, let's take inflation first. In an inflationary environment, highest inflation for a generation. Right? Now, you want to be in assets. Right, cash loses value in an inflationary environment. Assets go up, and we've got data, as you've seen. I'm not as good on stats as yourself, but we've got economic data that shows that house prices exceed, on the long run basis, the retail price index. Right, that is great news if you own a house. Right, because as inflation goes up, we get higher wages, right, to deal with the cost of living increases. And funnily enough, if you have higher wages, mortgages are based on multiples of income. We have more money to spend on houses. We love houses. We spend more money on houses. Therefore, house prices go up.
And also the amount that you borrow, the real value goes down as well.
Yeah. So my parents buying in the 70s, as I mentioned earlier, 25% inflation with the first oil strike, their debt just disappeared, right? Not so for us, very low inflation. That debt, really difficult to get down, but they saw house prices going up and the debt going down.
You say it a flat in terms of transactions, which I do agree with you. That's a great measure of where the property market is. But a lot of people judge the property market on house prices. Do you think that is a wise judgment and bellwether of the property market?
That's, again, another good question. So house prices generally show the confidence people have in the market, just like a share price. And we tend to like house prices going up because, basics, more buyers than sellers. You've already said today, shortage of stock. Right, people still need to move. Lives change. People have babies. People die. People split up, and it's very, very, very stable market in terms of housing transactions. 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. No reason for that to change. Right?
But surely, in the last 12 months we're going to probably have 1.5 million transactions. Do you think a lot of people moved their house moving from 23, 24 upwards, and we might just see a bit of a dip? Or do you, there's only so many people that want to move?
Indeed. But if we look at the longer term stats, it's about 1.4 million housing transactions. For the last 5, 6, 7 years, we've been at 1.1 million. So I think there's still a lot of catch up actually to do. So yes, we've had a bumper year, right, driven by the spikes of stamp duty, but we've still got a lot of people, hybrid model, a couple of days in the office, 3 days somewhere else. That's new demand, and we haven't seen the outplaying of that yet.
And where do you think house prices will go in the next 2 to 3 years?
2 to 3 years. My base case is we're going to go up 5% this year, we're going to go up 5% next year. So 10% over 2 years.
And where do you see the buy-to-let market going in the next couple of years in terms of the number of landlords and the available properties they have?
Yeah, that's going to be fascinating to watch. Increased legislation, EPC issues. I think, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but my working assumption at the moment is we're going to see an exodus of some buy-to-let landlords because the cost of getting the EPC certificates in place at the CLO level is going to be more not economic, right? But that will lead to properties coming on the market, which will be great for first-time buyers. So they'll be replaced by first-time buyers, and we could have the property ladder getting more accessible, and we could go back to a more traditional, because people are essentially renting for longer because house prices have gone up so much, and you tend to buy as a couple, so you're renting what would normally have been your first property. I think as landlords maybe start to leave the market at the lower end, we'll get back to the normal method of first-time buyers.
And what would your final message be to estate agents wondering how to be successful the next couple of years in relation to what you've said about the property market?
I think it's just be on top of your clients, right? Be updating them with market information. I guess the thing I'm always minded of is that at any one time, there's only about 3% of properties on the market for sale. So that means 97 out of 100 are not, right? And they're your big potential market. So send newsletters, right, out to your client base. Update them on what the market's doing. Be front of mind. So when they do come to sell, you're front of mind, and they're more likely to come to you. So it's a long play, it's a slow play, but it's probably quite a profitable play.
Anthony, thank you for your time today. Do check this man out. He is truly exceptional. There's not many people in the industry I look up to, but I tell you what, this is one of them. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.